Okay, you are now tuning in to On the Corner interviews. My name's Eddie, and now we have again
that one nigga Nick. You know who it is.
Yeah. What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Surprisingly, nothing really got done today, except for that interview that we had with your boy, which went surprisingly well, even though there was a lot of ambience, just like right now even. But it came out good. It came out smooth, and so I guess today's just a day,
So today's different because it's now On the Roof edition.
On the roof.
So how do you feel about this spot? How do you feel about where we are actually? We're in the city of Burbank right now.
Well, at this current moment, there's a really fine girl with nice breasts and tattoos walking by, and I have an upper view of them. So I would say that the choosing of this spot was spot on. But
so you have no problem coming off as a shallow, misogynistic person?
For that instance, in that current moment, in this video right now, yes, because I would believe, and I would want other people to believe me to be real, and I'm not gonna hide any ulterior motives. I saw some nice titties, so I had to speak on it. If you ladies didn't like that,
How do you feel about that? As far as like the whole women, man.
I got a real topic for you. Since you want to bring that up, let's talk about transgender men being in athletic sports with women and defeating them and completely obliterating them in everything that they do, but wanting to be labeled as a woman.
So are you against this? Is that what you're saying?
I am, but I'm not against it to the point of just being prejudiced and just wanting to see transgender people, thrown under the bus. It's more of like, if they want to compete and you say you were a man and now you want to be labeled as a woman, you want to be respected as a woman, and you want to be upheld to a woman's qualities. Well, women are empathetic. They're way more empathetic than men, and what you guys are doing to said women in their own sports league, it's not right. If you want to compete, why don't we have a whole league just for them? We have the Special Olympics, and I'm not calling them special needs, but you can have an entire league of transgender people competing with each other, and not take anything away from girls who have struggled and strived for this, and to still be beaten by a man. I mean, there's a going joke right now where it's like number one male contender and number one Olympic athlete, male. In all sports, and then it's like number one Olympic female athlete, also male. At what point do we stop and we start to actually use the minds that we've developed over all these years and eons and decades? It's a simple fix.
Okay, as far as speaking on this type of topic, do you think it's even right for a straight male like yourself to even speak on stuff like this? Because I don't think you have malicious intents, but what you're saying could come off very offensive.
Well, that's the problem right there. See, we're worried about people's emotions and stuff like that, but we're worried about the wrong people's emotions. We're in this time now, and it's a time of acceptance. We accept a lot of things, and it's progression. It's about damn time we start accepting some things and moving forward and evolving as a society. But at the same time, intelligence, empathy, and reasoning, come into play. You shouldn't be a man. It doesn't matter if you were born a man and you want to be labeled as a woman. There's no reason for a man to be competing with female athletes in a female sport and just wiping the floor with them and taking all of the medals. And these girls are struggling to keep up. It's physically impossible sometimes. And I'm not going to say at all times. Women have outpowered men in multiple occasions. But what happens when I have a daughter, or I adopt a daughter, and what she wants to do is run? That's her gift, that's her talent, that's what she wants to do, that's her ambition, and I strive for her greatness. And we get all the way up to the league, or to the point where she can be professional with it, and she's trained, she's beaten out every single female girl in her league. But here comes a transgender man dressed in a ponytail, wearing short shorts and a sports bra, going up against my daughter and completely obliterating her.
So your point is about making it fair?
Yes, it's about fairness. If they want to be treated fairly, if fairness in general, it just, everything should just be brought back to fairness. Like, come on, why are you allowing these men You know, men's bodies are far more muscular, have far more muscle density than a female's body. A woman has to push herself to extreme lengths to be able to look somewhat muscular. And we as a society look at that as being nasty. And that's the like limit that she's gonna have to reach for to be able to compete with these men. And that's unfair. It's unfair. Well, just because you want to be respected and labeled as a woman, you get to dethrone women from the thing that was made specifically for them.
Okay, no. I see the good in what you're saying. So
I'm not saying no one shouldn't be able to compete. There should be areas for people to compete. You wouldn't want someone with one leg competing with people who have both legs, right? That's not fair. I mean, if they trained and they had a metal prosthetic leg or a robotic leg and they trained and they can keep up with two people, then that's cool. You know, they made that decision to not have a handicap. You know, even though they are handicapped, they decided mentally and physically that they weren't going to be labeled with a handicap and they were going to compete with everyone else, even if they were physically handicapped. Now, if you compete and you choose to do that, then so be it. But this is an entirely different topic. That was just an analogy to try to make you understand where I'm going with this, you know. I'm all for fairness. I'm all for transgender people getting what they deserve, and that's respect and acceptance, you know. But at the same time, how far do we push the acceptance to start pushing out other people's, you know, emotions and shit? You know, you want to be respected, but at the same time, you're disrespecting people, you know, who did nothing wrong and are being, you know, shoved under your pedestal while you're lifted and people are calling you brave and stuff. And these girls, this is all they had, you know. They may not be the prettiest girl, they may not be the smartest girl, but they can run, you know. And you're taking that away from them. And how does that make them feel when they go home and to themselves they have a fucking 4th place, 5th place trophy and 4 men beat them in a woman's contest? That doesn't make sense to me. And that's where we need to start figuring things out. If we're going to accept these people for who they are, we need to start accepting new ways of doing things. And that's all. I feel like I went off on a tangent, but it's a serious thing that I have been looking into, and I've just been watching a lot of videos on it, and I've formulated an opinion on it, and I'm sharing that with you guys now.
Okay, so the city of Burbank, besides seeing women, how do you feel about Burbank?
It's nice. You know, it's the most gentrified place in the valley. I like coming here on occasion just because it's a nice little escape and it's close. You know, I can get to it. There's enough here going on. There's a little scene, but it's nothing major. I'd rather live somewhere like Seattle or, you know, like Washington or some crazy shit like that, you know. But I like Burbank. It's you get to see a lot of different ethnicities, you know, like being in Sun Valley all the time, you know, it's predominantly Spanish, but, you know, occasionally you'll see a white person, a black person, you know, but it's random, you know, they're like fucking unicorns, they pop up, you know, but here you're just every kind of ethnicity, every kind of culture, and you even get to experience the food and the art and all of that, so I like being here sometimes.
Okay.
Cops be tripping.
Yeah, cops be tripping. How do you feel about police brutality? I feel like you're a good person to ask because, you know, you're a person of color, so am I, so how do you feel about all that?
Well, I'll probably sound like an Uncle Tom saying this to a lot of black people, but, you know, there was something I read about Uncle Tom and heard about Uncle Tom way back when, but that's for another time. You know, a lot of these people call people Uncle Toms, and the meaning behind that is totally different, but I can't remember it right now. But what I have to say about police brutality is, like, some of these cases is brought on by the black person himself, you know? It's like you waited up until this moment with all the videos and everything you've seen up until the point where you're pulled over, and it's like you want to take this opportunity to, like, fight back, you know? You want to rebel in that moment when all the cop is trying to do is just get your ID or whatever, you know? That escalates the situation. Most of the time, yeah, these motherfuckers are scared of us because we got big dicks and we got all the chicks, but...
What the fuck?
But, you know, like, you acting a certain type of way can alleviate all the drama and the stress of, you know, the situation. Just give that man your ID. He goes to the car, he comes back, got your shit. You know you ain't got shit in the car. You know, you're good. pressing the issue and all that, like you take it over the edge. You know, it's like you want to be the next Aaron Gardner, you want to be the next Trayvon Martin and shit, you know, but you're not gonna be here to see the change, motherfucker. You're gonna be dead, you know. Just remember, we do a lot. We as black people, we do a lot of unnecessary shit, you know. But when it's time to stand your ground with a police officer, then do so. You know, it's all about the moment. You know, like if you can read the moment and you know shit is gonna escalate, you choose the best option for you. You know, going on Facebook Live, making the video, going live. Yeah, you know, people are seeing what's going on, but those people are just seeing what's going on. That doesn't mean your ass ain't finna be in the back seat or beating the fuck up on the floor in the back of an ambulance or getting rolled the fuck off to the coroner's office. So just chill, my brethren. Chill, my sisters. You know, just relax a little bit. Read the situation. I know you want to go home. I know you want to see your family. You know. Just read the situation. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so there's a problem in the valley, maybe other places too, but as far as I know, it's in the valley. There's starting to be ICE. What's it called?
ICE checkpoints.
ICE checkpoints and all that stuff. How do you feel about that and the whole concept of that, taking people from their families or their jobs or their lives?
I'm gonna say it to you like this. People are so blinded by these fake ass things that are going on, these fads, these challenges, these dumbass things. Like take the Area 51 thing for instance. This thing has over 1 million motherfucking people on this who signed this online petition to try to go and rush Area 51. Where is all the million of people rushing these ICE detainment centers for children? You know, where are all these people rushing these centers for people's rights? You know, that's the thing I love.
True.
It's the thing I love about humanity nowadays is we love to project our emotions and we love to project how much things are wrong and how much we'd be willing to do and how much things are need to change. But when it comes time for the change, when it comes for that moment where that person needed to stand up and fucking say, I've had enough. No, they don't. They watch. They hit the like button. They say sending their prayers. Sending prayers don't mean a goddamn thing. I bet you all those families who had their children and family members taken away are sending their prayers, and guess where the fuck they're still at? In the detention center. You want to do something? You want to change something? Get the fuck off Facebook, get the fuck off Twitter, get the fuck off Snapchat, and actually do something. You see somebody in the street getting manhandled by police officers who can't really speak English that well? Film that shit. Stand up for your fellow man. Stand up for your brother. Stand up for your sister. Stand up for the kid in the neighborhood. Because they're not going to give a fuck. They're just going to come. They're going to take them. And you're never going to see them again. And you know, all of this shit that's going on, it reminds me of 1940s fucking Poland right before World War II. You know, like, what did they do to the Jewish people? They rounded them up. They put them in detention centers, you know? They fucking labeled them. They had them treated like subhumans and shit. And then what came next? The war, the genocide, you know? And people just followed along, you know? Because they were either too afraid or too chicken shit to stand up and say, no, this is wrong, you know? And we're reverting back to that stage with the racism, with the way healthcare is handled in this country, with the way everything is going, you know? When is enough gonna be enough? When are you gonna get tired of looking at these posts of people dead in the street? When are you gonna get tired of seeing your family members scared to fucking go to the grocery store because of the ICE checkpoints? When is it gonna be enough? Remember, the government, the police, all these motherfuckers with power, they work for us. The moment we decide that we've had enough and we stand up, it's done, it's over with. But y'all are talkers. So am I. I'm a talker too.
Yeah.
But I'm being realistic with the situation, you know? We sit here all day and talk about how we want things to change and how fucked up it is, but we go right back to what the fuck we were doing, you know? It's not in our face, but it remains, you know? It's not like it's not going on. You know, I just feel like we make these fucking meetings and people talk about homelessness and all the things that are real crisis in this country. And when they have a meeting, they hit the fucking thing and it's like court adjourned. That was a good thing. They're shaking hands. We talked about it. Well, motherfucker, y'all been talking about it for years, and look at how bad it's getting. We have a real homeless problem here. We have a real racism problem here. We have a real problem with people's finances and job culture here. Like, we're the laughing stock of the world, but yet we hold our heads up high like we're still the best motherfuckers in the world. Like, the American dream died a long time ago, you know? It really is. It's not there anymore. The white picket fence with the dog and the family and all that shit, you ain't never gonna have that. You ain't never gonna have that no more, you know? Now it's the country of say what you want but get talk shit behind on social media by friends and family and fucking get beat in the street, you know, for small...
That's who we are. That's us.
Small traffic violations. No, I'm not saying that's us. I'm just saying that's the general consensus when, you know, I like watching travel videos. I like watching shit where people go to other countries and ask questions about America or, you know, how do they feel about Americans or American struggles, you know? And a lot of people, they consider this to be like a fucking TV show, you know? They watch from their countries and they're like, America is legit crazy. People don't want to visit, you know? They only visit because of family members. They don't really want to visit, you know? I mean, I may not have all the information, but just being a person from another country who sees the things that go on in our country daily, you know, the things they have to say about us, we're the laughing stock of the world. We're a joke. We're all fat. We're uneducated. And we hold football above our head. And what our military has it has the strongest military might on the fucking planet. Whoop-de-doo. There's homelessness everywhere. People can't find jobs. People are living in the street, you know, like a fucking a degree means nothing in this country. It's just a piece of paper, you know. Fucking student debt is ridiculously high. It makes you want to reconsider even going for a higher education, you know, where you determine, all right, fucking, I'm a smart motherfucker, but I don't have the time or the money to sit in the classroom. You know, bills ain't gonna wait for me. You know, bills ain't gonna wait for that higher education money, you know, so you got to get a job now. And the jobs that are available are cutting it for most. So everybody's just getting by, you know, and that's not how life should be. We should be thriving. We should be prosperous right now. We should be living, not struggling to live. At least that's how I feel. That's what I see in my neighborhood. That's what I see when I go other places. That's one of the reasons I come here to Burbank, because I see it just a little bit less, you know? It's my reality, and I'm trying to escape it.
Okay, so bringing it back to you, how are you feeling since the last interview? How's everything going with you?
I mean, I'm gaining a little bit more optimism, you know? Like, for a long time, I've just been kind of like low-key doing my thing, you know, on my own. You know, my circle's small. I don't really go out and do much, you know. I ain't never had shit, never done shit, never do shit, never out. But I never gave two shits, you know.
Oh.
I just been trying to get more in tone with myself, trying to figure shit out, trying to figure out what direction I need to take, what steps I need to make. And things are sort of falling into place, you know. Like, I decided I wanted to go to school. I still need to get my transcripts for that shit. And, you know, I hadn't been working recently, but I recently got a job at the airport, but they're bullshitting. You guys are bullshitting. You're not gonna find anything. I don't have a record. Haha, 25-year-old black man in America. That shit's crazy, huh? No record. But yeah, you know, I'm just tired of waiting. You know, I'm ready to have more. I'm ready to do more. And ultimately, I'm ready to be more, you know? Like, I'm at that point in my life where I've just been living a recurring cycle. I've been living in a circle. And I've passed by the same couple of things, you know? And, like, haven't I passed this shit before? Oh, shit, there it is again. And, you know, I'm getting tired of it. You know, I want some change. I want some real change, you know? So I'm trying to grab it. I'm trying to find it, and I'm trying to hold on to it.
So we're talking about something earlier about success and what does that mean to you, or what is really success? So how do you feel about that?
Success. There's so many different meanings to success. Like, you got the typical dictionary fucking explanation for success. You got the people who would consider financial stability success. I would be one of those people because I'm struggling right now. But for me personally, and this is getting a little in depth, and this is just me sharing what I go through on a day-to-day basis in my mind, is I feel like success for me is living a life with no fear. You know, I wake up every day and I'm constantly in fear of something, in fear of who I am, in fear of who I will be, in fear of what's happening around me, not knowing too much, in fear of what my next move is. Will I make that move? You know, in fear of my finances, in fear for my mother's future, just in fear. And for me, if I can wake up at some point in my life before I'm put in the ground and I don't feel that anxiety, that fear, that ambiguous feeling of you don't know what's around the corner, you know, I would call that success. That would be my personal success, you know. But going back to financial stability, I would consider that to be success for me, because I don't know what financial stability is, you know, and a lot of people in this country don't know what that is. But personally, I want financial stability. I'm not saying $1 million house. I'm not saying a huge ass crib and a whole bunch of cars and bullshit that you know will depreciate over time. I'm talking about being able to walk into a store and not question if I need this or not, you know, or question how much something is, you know, or have to make life decisions at the gas station, or have I eaten today, you know, or, you know, shit like that. I want to be able to just, if I want something, I can purchase it, or if I want it, I can save my money for it, and it's obtainable. It's not just something that I liked on Instagram and saved into my personal collection and look at on occasion, you know. It's something that is mine, and I got it myself. That to me will be another version of success, my financial stability. So yeah, no fear and financial stability will be my success.
Okay, so another great conversation with you, another great interview. You're well, how can I say, you have a gift. You can speak, you have a great perspective on life, you know.
I feel like I do a good job elaborating my bullshit, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what's going on? What's next? And maybe something you want to say, put it out in the world.
I recently met somebody, and hopefully things go well with her. If you see this, yeah, talking about you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And I haven't been able to say that in a long time. You know, I got a job coming my way. I have some higher education in the near future. You know, I have a love interest somewhat. You know, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm making my way back. You know, I was in a specific place before, and I got knocked off my pedestal, and it was needed. You know, I needed to be humbled a little bit, and you know, I'm making my way back. You know, it's all about the climb. It's all about the climb, and I'm climbing right now. I'm making my way back to where I was, and when I get back, I'm gonna stay back.
Dope. Okay, this was On the Corner Interviews with Nick.
On the Roof, though.
Oh, On the Roof edition. My name's Eddie.
And you guys already know who that nigga is. It's Nick. And whoever Christian Hernandez is.
Oh yeah, he said he wants to have your babies. How do you feel about that, real quick?
If it's a dude, I'm flattered. But if it's a girl...
Why are you flattered by a man telling you he wants to have your babies?
Well, I feel personally, I've been hit on by a couple of gay dudes in my life, and I find it funny. You know, I find it funny and a little bit enlightening, because it lets me know that I can slip and slide on both sides of the wave, you know? Like, it just means that I got options. I got options.
All right, man. Peace out, man.
Peace, man.